This Marina Life with MDL Marinas.
Hello and welcome to This Marina Life with MDL Marinas with me, Ceri Hereford-Jones. For this episode, I'm talking to some of MDL's tenants in the hospitality sector, namely restaurants and bars. I hope it'll provide you with some inspiration on where to eat and drink next time you find yourself near one of the three featured guests, either by water or road. So, without further ado, let's meet my first guests from MoniMar, a relatively new name for a coffee bar and restaurant based at Woolverstone Marina on the River Orwell, not far from the town of Ipswich. I started our chat by asking Monica what made her and her business partner Marianne want to start up their own bar and restaurant.
Basically, we both were working next door at Royal Harwich Yacht Club. I was there myself for 13 years, and to be honest, I reached the top. I don't think I could go any higher. Talking about wages or progression, I just get to the top and then the opportunity pop up. And we think like, why not? Maybe we can try and open something for ourselves.
And Marianne, it's quite a big risk doing this kind of thing, isn't it?
It is a risk, but you know, in life you take risks in any areas in life. But like Monica said, we couldn't go any further higher, so we said, you know what, we need to try different dynamics and a new challenge. So we got this footpath where it's something we enjoy, something we create, and it's something we love and passionate about it.
And the question has to be for you, Monica, having spent all those years at the yacht club. Did you get much sailing in?
Not really, to be honest. I spent most of my life working and cooking for the sailors. But yeah, I mean, I went sailing once or twice.
So you've decided to get involved and to take over the lease of the bar there, the MoniMar. Just describe to us again exactly where it is.
Yes, basically, it's under the MDL Marina. So literally, it's right next to the pontoon. So it's a beautiful and epic view.
And of course, the beauty of it there is you're on the River Orwell. And, you know, what's there not to like about that river?
It's interesting because Orwell River, it's very popular for sailing. And we talk about dinghy sailing, we talk about Ajax sailing because of the currents, the tides. It's ideal for that. So the river is special in himself, you know, because he kind of connect Harwich Harbour with Ipswich town.
Let's talk a little bit more about MoniMar itself. Tell us a little bit about the menu, please.
Okay, so what we're focusing is all the products we're using is fresh. It's from the local producer, so we're using the local butcher, local fishmonger, local vegetables. We also get some potatoes, vegetables from the local farmers. The quality is the most important for us, and I think this is what actually people appreciate.
And Marianne, what about the actual content of the menu itself?
We're very special about the menu because our target audience is A, the sailors, B is the Lodge Park visitors, the local peninsula residents, but also for business people. So it's a mixture of, in that menu, you need to target all this kind of audience. So we make it simple, but also choose the best products and the best ingredients to create something for everyone we actually target on. So it's special because of that.
And do you have any sort of particular, what I would call signature dishes on the menu?
Oh, of course, Monica's prawn curry, it's amazing.
It's actually prawn and courgette curry, and
Yes.
people absolutely love it.
Prawn and courgette.
You need to come and have it, you know, it's unbelievable, and we sell probably about 60 a week, so it's very, very popular.
And we have one more dish, which is made by our Portuguese chef, and it's dirty fries.
Dirty fries. Ah, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Portuguese style dirty fries. Yeah, amazing. Very spicy, but, you know, filly at the same time.
Do you bring anything with you from your home countries?
I think so. You get born to be in kind of a hospitality industry. So what I personally bring is the warm feeling and the welcoming within the MoniMar. I'm from Romania and Monica, she's from Poland. So Monica's got the skills. I think so. She's been born with the skills of an amazing chef. So I think so. Combined hospitality, front of house and back of house with Monica. I think so. That's the best formula the MoniMar has. And then that I think so. Not everyone would have that gift to create something like that with both with passion and then expertise and skills. So we're quite lucky to to have those and combine together, making it a successful MoniMar.
And whilst it's all lovely and it's very important, of course, the critical factor is the food. It is also about the ambience. It's also about the feeling of the restaurant and the bar, isn't it? It's very important, Monica, that people feel very, very welcome when they come and see you.
Yes, this is more like Marian job, but to be honest, people love him.
Well, but you know what, the good thing about MoniMar, Monica, she in the background, she's having a different. She's not just a chef. She's got a very. She's very talented on designing, so she can create something amazing. So to be honest with you, 90% of MoniMar creation was done by Monica. So combining her skills and everything else and experience, and the most important is simplicity. So we like to be simple and not complicate things. So we created together. Except most important, Monica, we create a MoniMar design. So I'm not sure if you've seen pictures or if you've seen online, but that's all Monica's creation.
How do you engage with the local community, guys?
Yes, there is on the peninsula. We have a Facebook group, so we always put offers there. The same with Woolverstone Marina group. There's two groups we actually targeted.
I also run Instagram for MoniMar as well.
So yeah, we go through Instagram, social media, but also the most important is people to hear from us. So we normally talk a lot. We tell people to talk as well, because this is all about a very small peninsula community. We're not huge.
Yeah, people need to refer people to people, don't they?
Yes, that's correct.
We get lots of local people, and then people normally say they heard about us from the friends, families.
Do you actually host any special events or offers for marina customers?
Yes, of course. We actually are planning now. We're in negotiation with the bird holders representative. We're going to host their line-up supper for October. We designed the menus. They're happy with it. So we're going to go ahead and run their line-up supper, which is good. But also, having said that, we do birthday parties, we do wakes, we do weddings, we do anything. People would like to come and have an epic view, and then celebrate their anniversary or birthday. They're more than welcome.
So you've been running this business now for 3 or 4 months. Looking back now, how does it feel, both of you, to be running your own place there?
Well, I believe we're more happier now, because before I used to work for someone. So my background is like I was running businesses for different. I even opened new businesses, so it was satisfying, but not as satisfying as it is for your own business. So we took the big risks, because in life we have to take. We're very, very happy that the local community, MDL especially, support us and their own holders. So it's amazing feeling. We have ups and downs. This is the business, but you know what? In the long term, we will be there for 15 years. So we would like to make the most of it, to be honest.
Well done, guys. So we better just ask you, have you got any expansion plans or future plans for the bar and restaurant for next year?
We've been already approached by a local owner who's got a restaurant pub. So he's asking us if we want to take over, because he loved the way we done it. But in all fairness, what I would say is, at the moment, we would like to stay where we are for a year or so, get that running properly, and perhaps we can actually expand within MDL Marinas. Maybe, I don't know, but we, like I said to representative, we might consider expanding as a little chain. So if there is issues in different marinas, we can actually take over and create something like in here. So, but first we need to be successful in MoniMar. So, and then take more on board if we can.
And we better ask the question, Monica, where did the name MoniMar come from?
So everyone calls me Moni since I was small. So Moni from Monica and Mar from Marian, but also Mar is a C in French. No, it's in Portuguese, no? Spanish.
It's both, French and Spanish.
Yeah, I think,
and Portuguese.
And Portuguese, yeah. So yeah, this is a MoniMar, Monica and Marian.
Oh, that's absolutely lovely. I'm glad we got there in the end. That's absolutely marvellous. Great to hear that they knew how they came up with the name of their restaurant. I love those guys. If you're anywhere near Ipswich, it sounds like just the place to go. If, however, the Solent, the River Hamble or Hayling Island are more your cruising ground, I'm pleased to introduce you to my next guest, Shannon Wood, a director of the Beetroot Group, who own and operate 3 restaurants on the marina sites based in those areas. I asked Shannon to firstly tell me the names and locations of his restaurants and how long he's been working with MDL.
The Ketch Rigger, the Gaff Rigger and the Square Rigger, 2 in Hamble and 1 in Haylen Island. We've been working with MDL for probably 20 years now, I think. 20 years coming up this year we were. And we recently opened our last one with MDL in April this year. The Gaff Rigger we opened just before COVID, really. I think we traded for about 10 months and then closed for COVID and reopened and basically started again fresh with the Gaff Rigger. The Ketch has been going for 20 years, the Square Rigger now for 6 months, and the Gaff for 2019 we opened there, so 5 years.
It's obviously clearly a style of restaurant, a style of bar that works very well for the clientele, both those water-based and those ashore.
Yeah, the thing is for us, when we first took the Ketch Rigger back 20 years ago, it was a wooden shack at the end of the river. It's still a wooden shack at the end of the river. It's just a little bit nicer inside. But, you know, we seem to find a formula in that something that catered for both the local area and the marina-based clients. And I think as you tend to trade in a marina, you start to learn the patterns. And it doesn't matter whether the marina's the Hamble Point Marina, there's Mercury Yacht Harbour or Sparks Marina. The pattern is still the same in that from April, people want to be by the water. And from October, they most definitely don't. You have those influxes of 6 months. You know exactly what you're doing. We do tailor-make the menus to the town and the marina. So they are all slightly different. And to be fair, the pricing is slightly different depending on what area they're in that sometimes the product is slightly different in Hamble than it is to Hayling, and sometimes different in Hayling to Hamble. And that comes down to the demographic of outside the marina, really. The marina's always the same, to be fair.
What is it about that relationship between the Rigger brand, if you will, and MDL? How does that work from your point of view?
We've grown together in that, don't get me wrong, we're a small independent. MDL are a big multinational. We know we're not the same, but we've grown together. And not just as restaurants, the people that have worked for MDL and our staff have all grown together. So, you know, I think back 20 years ago when we first took the Ketch Rigger, and I look at some of the marina managers that were there at the time and now really senior high up people in MDL, some of them who sit on the board and some of who have sat on the board. So I think we've just grown together, and I think we understand the marinas, and between us we can figure out what's best for that water-based customer. It's then down to me to go and get the additional business for the rest of the year, really. MDL and us have just worked in partnership, and yes, we've got restaurants on a marina, but we're not a marina restaurant in that we are open to the general public.
Yeah, there's quite a subtle difference there, isn't there?
Yeah, and it is subtle, and I do try to say it when somebody says to me, like, oh, but, you know, the comeback from a customer is always, well, I have a boat on the marina, and I'm like, well, I have 3 restaurants on 3 marinas, I win.
Top trumps.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what it's like sometimes. But we're a restaurant on a marina, we're not a marina restaurant. You know, we're lucky that we've worked with MDL long enough that they understand us and we understand them, and we know that our focus is on the water. And it has to be on the water definitely from April through to October. But from October through to March, we do need to go to the local areas, and we do need to try and get that business that keeps you going for the rest of the year. And we've been lucky in that we've got a relationship with MDL, and that they've helped support that, and they've helped us try and achieve that, in that there's no restrictions on parking, there's no restrictions on barriers, there's no big sign up saying marina, keep out.
Yeah.
You know,
it's important. It's important stuff. It's a welcome, isn't it, at the end of the day? And it has to be said, my wife and I have partaken of your famous Sunday lunch on the Hamble there, one of your restaurants, and legendary, I think, is the word I would use for it.
Yeah, we've got 2 places in Hamble. We've got the Ketch Rigger and the Gaff Rigger, either end of the village. The Ketch is tailored to a more training, more working environment, and the Gaff is led a little bit more towards leisure. It's got a big campsite by it. It's a slower marina in that nothing starts there till 9-10 in the morning, whereas at the Ketch at 7:30 in the morning you can have a queue going outside the door ready for people to get corporates and go. So, you know, they're tailor-made differently. The Ketch does a carvery, the Gaff does a plated roast. Originally, when we first took the Gaff, we noticed we were sharing some customers and quite a lot of customers. And it was never the point, in that the die-hard Ketch customers love the Ketch rigger. And the die-hard Gaff customers love the Gaff. There's some slight changing over, but I think now they've found their own identities.
And the Square is going to offer something again different.
Yeah, so the Square offers something a little bit more street foody. We made the choice there to relax the service a little bit, to not have the formality, in that there's a lot of day boats going into that marina, and it's about people popping in 2 hours for lunch and going. It's not a sit down on a Saturday night and have a long leisurely dinner. It's a place to get something to eat and have a drink, as opposed to a place to go. It's a place to go to eat, not to go for dinner.
Just to remind us where the Square Rigger actually is.
The Square Riggers at Sparks Marina, just at the back end of Haylen Island. When you get on the island, it's as far into Haylen Island as you can possibly get. When I say to one of the staff from Southampton, do you fancy going to Haylen Island to lend a hand? And they look on Google and see that it's 20 minutes away. What they don't realise is that once you're on the island, you're another 20 minutes into the island.
And if you go too far, you fall off the end.
Yeah, you literally fall off the edge. But the sunsets are fantastic there. We looked at Sparks Marina, I don't know, probably 10 years ago, maybe even a bit more. It used to be a restaurant called Marina Jack's. And we went there and loved it. And Haylen Island brings back fond memories. As a kid, we used to holiday in Haylen Island. We used to have a caravan holiday. We used to go there. My mum used to take the shopping that we would normally eat for the week at home and just take it with us, and we'd have it in a caravan on Haylen Island and spend 14 hours a day on the beach. So, you know, it's fond memories there. And as soon as MDL approached us and said, would we be interested, we were like, yeah, fine, yeah, definitely. And I think the relationship we have now, in that I think that will just continue to grow with MDL now, I feel.
You talk there a lot about the differences between each of the outlets, and you talk there about the different times of year. Do you offer anything particular for those that are perhaps come into the restaurant from the water? Is there any deals there for marina berth holders?
So the berth holders use the OTM points. Basically, the more money they spend with MDL, it's like a club card. They spend money and they get money off vouchers. Now, we accept those money off vouchers. So we run that scheme all the way through the year. We do a lot of theme nights in the winter months. So really from September through to March, we try and do something, a discounted event or a discounted night. That's not just open to the marina berth holders, that's open to everybody. But we do a lot of work with MDL in that, so we always do an opening season party. We do a berth holders summer party. We do a closing season party. Between us and MDL, we sponsor that. So it's a free event for berth holders. MDL effectively normally pay for the drink. We normally effectively pay for the food. So it becomes a free event for them. And it's a bit of a social. And we started it 3 years ago, and I think we had about 60 people turn up. We then did a berth holders last year. And Dominic, the manager at Mercury, said, how many do you think we'll do this year, Shannon? I said, I don't know. I'm leaving it to you, Dom. Well, 250 people turned up. I think this year was 275. I think the talk about the town now is that I think next year we'll just do one joint party between them all and then try and pull all the marinas together a little bit.
And I was going to ask you that. I mean, in terms of future plans, any more riggers in the offing?
Oh, always. You know, we're always knocking on MDL's door and MDL are always knocking on my door. So, yeah, you know, never say never. The Square's got its first year this year. It's going to be a hard winter there. But I think by the time next summer comes, that'll be up and running and will find its own place. And I think, yeah, definitely watch this space. There will definitely be more riggers.
And do you get a chance to get out on the water yourself, Shannon, or have you never got any time?
I'm a motorboater if I would be anything, not a sailor. I went sailing once to the Isle of Wight. Somebody told me to pull this certain name rope. Started shouting and screaming at me to pull this certain name rope. I just said to him, just tell me the colour. And as he told me the colour, our boat hit the South Cardinal.
That didn't go so well then.
Never sailed again.
And the South Cardinal's never been quite the same either.
And if anybody knows the South Cardinal, it's the massive buoy in the middle of the water. How we even hit it, I don't know.
Finally, from the Indian Kitchen in Hythe Marina, Southampton, I got to talk to the owner, Raghu, who only opened for business in April 2024, but has clearly made his mark judging by the number of diners eating at his establishment. I asked him what it was that inspired him to open the Indian kitchen in Hythe Marina, and also to tell me a little bit about his own personal background.
I've been a chef for more than 20 years. My journey started in the hotel industry in 1997 back home in India. And I came to UK in 2001. Since that, I've been in many places, worked in many restaurants, pubs, and hotels. I have a dream to open a restaurant which is a waterfront, like a seafront, something like that. And I got a chance to manage a boathouse, which is next door. So I managed like a couple of years, the boathouse. So we have taken this as a good opportunity.
And as you say, it's all about the view, isn't it? And you've got a lovely view from your
Yeah,
restaurant.
it's all about the view and the place. It's really stunning views. It's very nice people around, and it's the destination come local as well. So it's a combination of everything. What I was looking for a long time. After like more than 20 years, I'm happy to be a part of what I want.
You knew what you were looking for, and you knew when you found the right place.
Yeah, I've been looking for a long time this one. I mean, like this, but it took quite a while to find a place like that.
So, the Indian kitchen, your inspiration. Tell me about the menu and what is it that makes it special? And do you have any signature dishes?
Well, actually, we focusing on fresh local source. Like we taking like a seafood, local seafood. All mostly we trying to get local produce. And like on the menu, we have like a Hyderabad corner, which is, if you see the menu, that's like a special signature dishes from our own place, which is from Andhra in India, like a gongora chicken and like a biryani, like a you might heard like a biryani, but it won't. It's not like a same what you getting outside, or like onion bhaji, which is like a, it says like onion bhaji, we call it onion pakoda. So all these are like a signature from the south of India. Basically, I'm from south of India, and my chefs are like all over place. One from south, one from north, one from like Punjab. So like that, we have a mix of Indian cuisine there.
It sounds fascinating, and it sounds like you really are offering something special and something different.
The names looks a bit like an onion bhaji. You say, but it's not onion bhaji. We say like onion pakoda, but people don't know what if you say onion pakoda. So that's why we put onion bhaji. But when they say, we'll explain, and everyone loves the. So like that, like and gongora chicken or a lamb. You won't get that much outside. And we giving like a lamb shank as well, Hyderabadi lamb shank. These are like there is a like a special menu for like signature dishes on our menu. So that if anyone try that one, everyone up to now we get good feedback from the.
It sounds like there's a bit of education going on, that people are being educated as to different flavours in different regions.
Yeah, different flavor, like a original flavors, I would say, like what you get in India. I'm not blaming any other things because I have other takeaway and all this, but this place is a bit unique and different.
And very, very much your own stamp on it, or very much your own individual take on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do there. Like that's what up to now we done. That's what we going forward as well. It need to be like a bit unique and signature.
How important is it for you to engage with the local community? How do you go about actually making sure the locals know that you're there?
Oh, it's very important. Is it like without knowing, you can't survey. At the same time, like I was before I start this, I was in boathouse for a couple of years. So I know the local, and before I start, I have taken local like a feedback and all of these things before I start, like what they expecting and what they wishing that place to be. So I have done a lot of work before I start the place.
As always, a huge thank you to all my guests for giving up their time. I hope you found what they had to say interesting and gastronomically inspiring. For more information on those featured in this episode, just follow the links on our show notes. And don't forget to visit the MDL's website to book a berth, a lift out, or any guidance you may need for you or your boat. Please do let me know your own thoughts on the areas we've talked about today, and hope you'll join me again soon for This Marina Life with MDL, the perfect berth for you and your boat.